Luka, how did it just feel? You know, your first game since obviously the way that you played for Slovenia, it looked like that translated pretty quickly for you and the rhythm that you found. But how did you feel?
I feel great. I felt great. It was probably better than I expected. You know, those first games are kind of rusty, but I was just very happy to be out there again.
Couple just new players that weren't on the team last year, obviously, that were out there with you, and Smart and Ayton. Wondered what you saw from each on both ends of the court.
I mean, both were great. You know, obviously it's preseason. Obviously we're just getting started, but they were both great. You know, Day's gaining his rhythm. You know, it was Marcus' first game back, so kind of expecting, you know, a little rustiness. But I'm just happy to share the court with those guys.
Before the game, JJ spoke to the comfortability that he kind of sees in you, and getting back to how he saw you when he was your teammate in Dallas, just kind of the way that you are and the fun and the approach and how that translates to the court. Do you feel like that, or are you, now that you're able to mirror that of getting actually onto the basketball court?
Oh yeah, for sure. Obviously I had to carry JJ when he was my teammate. He couldn't move at all, so I had to carry him big time. No, but all seriousness, you know, I feel that way. I think just getting out there playing basketball for me is amazing. I missed it. I think you can see those fullness. You know, I'm just happy to be on the basketball court again.
You're smiling when you're talking about playing, and AR was telling us that you had a shot in practice the other day that was like one-legged, falling out of bounds, 35 feet, almost went in, but he told you, like, hey, man, like sometimes it's not a great quality to think you can make every shot. How do you kind of balance that? I mean, obviously it is a game that you're playing, but also working within the team structure to get the best shot possible for the Lakers.
Yeah, obviously, you know, at some point there's going to be heat checks for me, for sure. You know, I kind of like that, where there's going to be heat checks from other guys too. But, you know, just trying to balance that rhythm between get a better shot or just some crazy shot. Obviously, I need to work on that. Sometimes a little bit too much, but getting there.
Luka, anybody who's watched you play knows what your responsibility is on the court. I'm curious, though, at this stage in your career, how you view your responsibility in the locker room, on the practice floor, when it comes to, like, trading jerseys with Vando or building connections with Rui and different things like that. How intentional have you been with that, with kind of your first crack with this group of teammates, versus sort of last year just getting dropped into this?
Yeah, I think this year, for my part, it wasn't intentional. It just kind of happened, you know. And those things, if you want to build those things, you can't just force it. And those things just happen. And, you know, we've been having a preseason. The chemistry is great. And for us to be great, we need to have a great chemistry.